Hey everyone, it's FigCorner2000, and today I'm unboxing and reviewing Gamerverse Punisher and Nick Fury 2-pack. Disclaimer, this is a longer video because there is 2 figures in this box, a lot of accessories, and I'm going to tie some things into this comic right here and give a lot of backstory on Frank Castle and how he became the Punisher. But let's get right into this unboxing.
In the original comics, the Punisher, aka Frank Castle, was a returning war hero from the Vietnam War. Upon his return, the day after, his family was gunned down in front of him at a local park. From then on, hence the name, he punishes all criminals and sought out revenge against those who killed his family. He's a very interesting and complex hero, full of PTSD and a urge to kill those who do wrong things. The Punisher also clashes with Daredevil, because they do not see eye to eye in many things at all, and Frank kills and Matt doesn't and believes in the justice system. In the next voiceover, I'm going to talk a lot about how Nick Fury and the Punisher do not blend at all.
For now, I'm going to keep this artwork in the box. I don't know if it's meant to come out and be used as a backstreet and backstage for these figures, but for now, I'm just going to keep it in the box. Let's get both of these figures out of their case while I give some backstory on the Punisher and Nick Fury.
When I was filming this video, it took a very long time to get these figures out of their case. And it does make sense because there were a lot of accessories and the figures themselves had to be pried out of the packaging. But let's start with Nick Fury. As shown in the MCU, Nick Fury is basically the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. commands the Avengers. Nick Fury served in World War II, fighting against Hydra, along with Wolverine, Captain America, Bucky. He does not necessarily believe in the same things as Punisher, and it doesn't make sense that they'd be in a 2-pack because they do not see eye to eye. An example of what makes these two guys different is that Nick Fury is not going to hunt street-level criminals like the Punisher will. The Punisher will seek out these low-life scum basically just to kill them. Nick Fury will use violence and does not hesitate to kill, but it's on a broader spectrum that threatens more of the world. This is based on the 1993 Punisher video game, though, and that is why he is wearing that blue suit. I don't mention this later in the video, but that is the reason. I have noticed other collectors that have reviewed this 2-pack or even just looked at it, they have mentioned the same thing as me, that these two characters don't see eye to eye. Frank Castle is fueled by revenge, while Nick Fury is trying to save the world from things like Hydra or other operatives trying to destroy Earth. I'm going to speed up this recording now because there really isn't much to see. I just sort of show the accessories on screen, line everything up, and then we start talking about the figure's articulation. So I'm going to speed this up.
Wow, well that took a while, but man, is it worth it because there are so many really cool accessories. So let's start with Nick Fury. He comes with a pistol right here. I don't think this is not silenced. I actually don't know what make and model it is though. It looks old though. A M16 carbine right here, same as Punisher himself, of course. This does not open and this gun does not come out. You can just pretend that it's this gun right here. He comes with a throwing hand or sort of a clasping hand that you can put underneath the barrel of this gun like that, or throw that grenade back there with. A pair of fist hands right here, a saluting or pointing hand right here, which I have a very good idea for a pose with, so that's exciting. And then a pair of gripping hands for his guns right here. Next, the Punisher comes with way more, including his signature money case, which explodes in the Irish's faces. A detonating effect, which works for both the Punisher and Nick Fury. It's not just for the Punisher, but it's very cool, although the inside that is white is sort of throws it off a bit. But other than that, I think it's pretty nice. A baseball bat, which is going to be really good to get some poses out of this, and it's going to be very, very cool. A snarling head, like this, as if he's firing the gun. A pair of gripping hands like this to shoot with, a pair of fist hands you can see on the figure, and then just like Nick Fury, he comes with, and that's the thing, both these figures come with the exact same sets of hands, a saluting hand and then a gripping or throwing hand right here. Gun wise, this guy's loaded. He has a frag grenade right here, a pistol, right here, which does fit into that holster. A submachine pistol right here. A M16 carbine, just like Nick Fury. And then known by the mob as an Uzi, or a submachine gun variant right here. Now that the accessories are covered, let's talk about articulation. These figures do not use the same body, although they are in the same 2-pack, but I think I should start with the worst body, which is this one right here. Nick Fury can look up only this far, can look down none, basically. And the shoulder goes all the way up like this. There's a bicep over here. The shoulder goes all the way around, and the articulation is very nice. I can feel it, how nice it is. The forearm and bicep go up like this, like any standard action figure would. And then the wrist goes a little bit up, and then a little bit more down, but I don't want to break anything, so I'm not going to push that hard. The same is to be said with this arm. There is a cut right here, sort of at the stomach line, that lets him look up like that, using his torso, and down all the way like that, using his torso. There is a swivel here that lets the figure go at full 360. I must say there are some very nice rubbery belt pieces here and here which move, which I think are very nice detail. There is a side holster on the figure which can hold his pistol, just like the Punisher. Mine came as if it was not on necessarily very tight, so I'm just going to push this down right here, get it to hold on real like that. The thighs move up to here. They go out this far, blocked by the rubber belt, and they don't go back that far. There is a thigh cut, swivels around. I'm not going to do it on that leg. As you can see, it just popped up. The knees move up like this, which is nice. There is a substantial, actually there's not that good foot movement right here, but it will definitely work. Not asking for that much. Surprisingly, the articulation on this figure is not that bad, and I'd actually say it's pretty nice. For a newer 2-pack, I think it works pretty well. Moving on, we have the centerpiece of this pack for me, and the figure I am most excited to get out of this whole haul of most recent action figures that I bought. The Punisher can look up this far, can look down a great deal, and I'm pretty sure that the Nick Fury can do that too if I just put his head in the right place. Yep, he can too, so my mistake before. Punisher's shoulder goes up all the way to here, which is very nice. Swivels all the way around. There's a bicep cut here. I have to say, the articulation on these figures is almost perfect right out of the box, and I'm very pleased with it. The forearm and bicep move up like this, all the way to here, as they should. The wrist for these fists at least goes back to here, and then down to there. This figure's abdomen is split into 2 parts. Right here at the waist, it goes back a bit, does go forward, but the main abdomen movement you're going to get is this chest piece right here that switches itself out. It's a lot like the Daredevil back there, so it's obviously a newer body mold that works very nicely. The hips go up to here on Punisher. They go out this far in the front, and in the back they go back a little bit. I am a little concerned about this split right here. If you could see this on the thigh, the thighs do move, but this one appears to have a bit of a bigger gap than this one does. I'm not sure if it's because of the holster or what's going on, but the thigh cut does work, and it swivels all the way around. The knees go like this all the way. There is a foot movement right here. So both of these figures deserve a 9 out of 10 on my scale of articulation. But let's see how well they work with their accessories. Punisher can hold his pistol nicely. It fits in right here where his hand is on the trigger. He can also hold his M16, although this looks a little more and feels a little more finicky because the grip is a little looser in the hand. He can hold his machine pistol like this nicely and get a good grip on it. And for the final weapon, he can hold his Uzi nicely as well, even with the extended mag, I believe. Let's just work this gun into his hand. There we go. It's a bit of a bigger grip, so it's a little harder for the figure to hold, but he can still get it. Punisher can also hold his bat like this pretty nicely, even with the finger on the trigger. There's still enough room here to hold the bat hilt. Punisher's pistol fits snugly into his holster, which I am very pleased about, although this strap right here is coming down And I think I just need to force it up all the way here without making this paint look weird. Yeah, that looks better. Let's move on to Nick Fury though and see how he does with his guns and his holster. Just like the Punisher, he can hold his carbine like this pretty nicely, although yeah, still that grip is a little small for the figure's hand. He can hold his pistol as well, I think. Yep, he can hold his pistol as well. And then it does fit in his holster like so. Very snugly. It actually passes itself all the way through. That is an interesting way to hold a gun. Now let's move on to posing these figures together. As I am posing Nick Fury, he is seriously struggling to hold this gun and set this right with his elbow. Although I'm going to troubleshoot this and find a way for him to hold this. It just is weird and looks a little loose and just not human-like at all with the gun when trying to pose it. This secondary head for the Punisher is very stiff and it does have trouble moving side to side. There is a calf cut on this figure and on the Nick Fury down there. I forgot to mention that earlier. Here are the two figures together, standing back to back. But now let's move on to putting this Punisher with the Daredevil back there. Here's a pose with Secret Wars Daredevil and this Punisher together. I understand that both of these figures are not necessarily the base comic variant suit. This one being blue and white instead of black and white, and this one being red with the black symbol instead of red with the red symbol, which is seen in the comics more often. I think it's time to move on to an honest review though, because these poses probably took me 20 minutes because of having to work with these figures so much, but that doesn't mean that they're bad figures. I'll explain more in a sec. Overall, this 2-pack is completely worth it, and you get so much stuff for the sort of low price of $66. I'm not necessarily as hyped for Nick Fury as I am for the Punisher, because I love the Punisher and I think he's a really cool vigilante. Other than that, I would give the Punisher a 8.8 out of 10 and Nick Fury a probably 8.1 out of 10. Both these figures are great. I would recommend picking this up. It looks awesome. It feels awesome. It moves awesome. The accessories are awesome. Everything works. Thank you guys so much for watching, and there will be more videos in store to come, and the giveaway may be happening soon. I might postpone it for a week. I'm not sure yet. Just stay watching this channel.